So, at long last, we welcome them back amongst us. The Cranberries. Hello and good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cologne.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You all look incredibly happy. I guess, is that the current state of mind of the band?
Yeah, I think it's a really positive time for us. And the Greatest Hits is it's a milestone, and we're kind of going, whew, we made it. It's great. We're really enjoying it. You know, it's good.
Yeah, this is the album that's bringing us together. I think I have a cheap photocopied record company.
It's kind of the promo one.
Yeah.
But it's called The Stars.
Someone in an office burnt the CD and just photocopied the, you know. But this is The Stars, the Cranberries' best of 92 to 2002. So it's a milestone. So what do you think, you might not make it this far?
Well, I don't think we ever anticipated making it this far when we began. And we kind of it was just basically kind of a fun thing, you know, like a fun thing to do, being in a band, you know, rehearsing twice a week and stuff. And then between all the success and everything that we've gone through in all the years, it's just great to still be here and, you know, still be loving making music together, you know, honestly, it's good.
And people still loving you. I mean, do you think you'd still be doing it if people had gone off you?
I'd say we probably would, because we'd be bored, you know what I mean? We probably would get together and write, maybe for TV, movies, maybe we'd write for, you know, other artists or whatever. If we didn't want to perform, you can write songs and give them to other artists or whatever. But I'd always write, and I know that we have a good chemistry together. I feel that we always would work together regardless anyway, somehow, you know.
That's something that I've always, not being a rock and roll musician myself, of course, probably want to be, which is why I do what I do. But I've always admired that. It's like having a great friend that you can just relax with. You don't need to talk, and there's a similar, you know, chemistry, and you understand each other. And you guys all have that. And you don't go in to the studio trying to sound like the Cranberries. Does it just happen?
Yeah, it's just kind of the sound.
Always just been something that's been there, and the four of us are in a room together and we play. It just, that sound comes out, and you can't explain what it is. And if you analyse it too much, you might kill it. So it's better off to just let it go and kind of just go with the flow.
As we know, you've had your analytical period, and that's over now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like, I think Don't Analyse was the song where we were kind of saying, we won't think about it, we'll just go with the flow and enjoy it, you know what I mean? Because there's too many other things in life that you have to analyse, like it or not. But being in a rock and roll band and writing songs, you don't have to think too much about that. You just get up there and you do it, and you release, and you let go of a lot of your stresses and a lot of your problems. You can write about your problems in your songs. It's like going to see a shrink, and you feel much better, and then everybody relates to it, so you go, oh, so all those people feel this way and go through this. So it's quite therapeutic as well, you know.
No, don't worry, I'm not going to go right back to the beginning when you're all like 18 and 19, but I remember your first album being multi-platinum. I mean, just take us back a little bit then. Was that a huge, what happened then to you when it was, you know, you went all huge selling album, your first one?
Well, the first time it was released, it kind of it flopped, the first release of it, and it was almost a full year had gone by, and during that year in America, the album had kind of taken on a life of its own. We'd never even been there. We were on tour in Europe, and not many people have heard of us at that point. And then we got these phone calls. The management got calls from the record company in America saying, you know, you've got to come over. This thing's after just exploding here. And we were more surprised than anybody else. And we went over, and next of all, we were playing sellout shows. Everybody knew the lyrics, you know, knew the words of the songs. It was just like, you know, you don't really know how to explain it. It's just a mad feeling.
And home in Britain, so that it was being ignored?
It was still, yeah, even, I guess it would have been still, even after we came home, another 6 months even. We practically had the second album written and ready to record by the time the first one really took off here on this side of the world.
So Dolores, you were suddenly in front of these like hundreds and thousands of Americans all lip-syncing back to you. Was that what it was like?
It was very cool, because I was kind of a very shy little Irish country girl, really, and I needed to kind of develop anyway as a person, so this was a good way for me to develop my personality and stuff. And I received the attention pretty well. At first I didn't receive it very well. For about a year I used to turn my back and think that they were looking at me and kind of judging me, instead of kind of thinking, oh, they're not judging me, they're here because they like me, they paid to come in to see me, they must like me. And eventually one day, bingo, it just dawned upon me, oh, they actually like me. And then from that day on, I just kind of started looking at them and kind of eye contact and this, that and the other, and the next thing you're dancing, and the next thing I really got to like it, you know, being in front of people. It didn't bother me that much then.
This best of album, whose idea was that? Was it yours or the record company's?
It's kind of both, because it was 10 years, 92 to 2002, since we released our first album, and we're coming to the end of our record company contract, so they suggested doing a Greatest Hits, so we said, yeah, perfect.
It's actually fantastic. I've listened to it on the train all the way here. I'm a little MP3 player, but I've copied the album more legally.
Oh, well, of course, yeah.
I think, and it just reminds you. It's a big slap in the face. Wow, how many fucking great songs the Cranberries have got. You know, it must be a luxury for a band to have like every single song on the album. Not an album, you know, not one the song doesn't work as well. They're all like one bang after the other. Do you listen to it as an entirety like that, like I would?
I think that, you know, the one thing that we always had and that nobody could ever take away from us was the fact that we wrote our own songs, and we had a lot of success with our songs. And I think we kind of knew that if we did take breaks and come back, that those songs would still live, and that someday we'd bring back a greatest hits and do our best of tour, and that would be a moment whereupon people will go, oh, there they are, they're still going, oh God, yeah. And now it's a good time, because there's an awful lot of manufactured groups anyway who don't even write out there, so it's great. It's a great time to have a kind of a best of album, really, you know.
Now that we're here to celebrate the 10 years of the greatest hits of the Cranberries, and you've been here for 10 years obviously, and a bit longer beforehand, and you've been out, you came back in again, what would you say was the main thing that's changed now that you've come back? Have you noticed a big change in the business?
I think that it's kind of, there's a lot of more pop stuff at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of more, like we were saying earlier on, with the pop thing has taken over from the rock and roll thing, and even some of the dancier stuff it's gone more underground again now. But there's bands like Coldplay and the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Beck and stuff like that are getting more airplay on the radio again, which is nice to see. So hopefully it'll change around again.
It's that real music with those real tunes.
It is.
Yeah, hoodies and jeans and t-shirts.
Exactly. That's what we love.
Comfortable runners and stuff.
And just the final question. I think you're doing a video, aren't you, for something for the best of? Are you not like redoing all the videos, or?
No,
we did a video actually just about 10 days ago in Dublin, and it was for The Stars, which is the single, yeah. And actually an English guy called Jake Nava, he was the director, and it was really good to work with him, because, you know, it's just nice to work with somebody different. Sometimes you get a new inspiration. It was kind of in the countryside in Ireland, and it looks pretty amazing. We did some of the footage at Glendalough, which is just outside Dublin, and some of it in Wicklow and up in the mountains near the Sally Gap, where, you know, RTE in Ireland, where their masters, like, so it was pretty fun. It was great.
And is that going to be on a DVD? Is there going to be a DVD Stars as well?
Yeah, there's going to be a DVD with all the videos and some interviews with directors and stuff.
And we have the Live in Paris DVD. It's called Beneath the Skin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's actually coming out as well, the DVD.
Now this really is the final question. I know are you still all in Ireland?
Yeah.
All of you?
Yeah.
In Limerick?
Yeah, in and around Limerick, yeah.
So why not Dublin or London or Paris or New York or?
Less traffic and it's cheaper.
Yeah, and Shannon is kind of handy and stuff. Well, my husband's Canadian, so we have a holiday home in Canada, and we go over there like a couple of months a year, so to keep it a bit fair, you know. But he's mad to take the little guy to hockey and stuff now. We don't have that in Ireland, so we're starting to get into that debate. Where are we going to live debate? But we're in Ireland now anyway, and that's pretty comfortable.
And you're right, it's where the best people in the world live, isn't it, Ireland, really?
Actually, we're very
right
honest.
here in front of you.
Very honest.
There we go. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks a
and
million.
look forward to the gig tonight. Lovely to have you back.
Thank you.